Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. I'm so glad you could join us today. Real quick, before we jump into the actual content, make sure you subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Yeah, definitely do that. It really helps out.
Totally does. So today, our mission is to dig into some recent reports from Planet Rugby. And we're looking at a massive, just a mind-boggling coaching shakeup. We're talking about the South African Springboks and how they're handling a transition that just challenges everything everything we think we know about loyalty in sports.
Right, because usually when a big coach leaves for a rival team, it's just pure drama. I mean, bridges are burned, there are angry leaks to the press. It's totally tribal.
Exactly. But the headline here is that the Springboks attack coach, Tony Brown, he just announced he's leaving to join their biggest rivals, the New Zealand All Blacks.
Which is just a massive bombshell.
Oh, huge. But here's the thing. The bombshell dropped, and there was just, no explosion at all.
None.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this so fascinating to explore. We really want to unpack what this says about the psychology of team management and how being totally upfront can actually neutralize anxiety.
So to set the stage for you, if you don't know who Tony Brown is, he's a former All Blacks fly half who joined Rassie Erasmus's coaching team back in 2024. And he didn't just stand in the background. He basically sparked a total attacking revolution for South Africa.
Yeah, revolution is honestly the right word there. Like, the Borns historically relied on just brute force, The bomb squad, dominating physically.
The classic bash and crash.
Exactly, just suffocating defense. But then Brown comes in and layers this hyper-fast, intricate attacking system right on top of it. He weaponized their size by adding all the speed and deception.
And it worked perfectly. They got back-to-back rugby championship titles, 2 unbeaten end-of-year tours, just wild success. But now, at the very peak of this, it comes out that he signed a 2-year deal to coach the All Blacks starting in 2028.
Right. And the timeline is the craziest part here. Because he's not leaving tomorrow. He's leaving after his contract expires at the end of the 2027 World Cup in Australia.
Which is, what, a multi-year notice period? That's insane.
It's unheard of. He essentially walked in and said, hey, I'm going to work for the enemy, but not for 3 more years.
And the Planet Rugby reports make it super clear that Rassie and SA Rugby wanted to keep him past 2027. They didn't want him to leave.
No, of course not. But Brown was just really honest about it. He told them he wants to coach his home country and, just be closer to his family in New Zealand.
Which honestly reminds me of, well, think of it like hiring a Michelin star chef to fix your restaurant.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
They come in, they revamp the whole menu, get you top awards, and then at the height of your success, they say, hey, I'm going to open a competing restaurant across town in 3 years. Usually you'd fire them on the spot.
Oh, a standard company would lock them out of the building immediately. They treat them like a spy because of the fear that they'll steal proprietary info.
Right. But SA Rugby CEO Ryan Oberholzer came out and publicly praised Brown for his honesty and his loyalty. They completely trust him to keep focusing purely on getting a 3rd World Cup title with the Burkas.
And from a psychological standpoint, that reaction is just brilliant. Accepting someone's career dream doesn't ruin their current value. It actually it builds immense loyalty right now.
Speaking of building things right now, I just want to pause for a second. If you're enjoying our breakdown of this, please take a second to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so let us know what you think in the comments down below too.
Yeah, drop a comment. We read all of them. But getting back to the strategy here, there's actually a very specific reason Rassie Erasmus wants this announced so early.
Yeah, the timeline mechanism. Rassie is signed through the 2031 World Cup, but his assistant coaches only go through 2027. So all those negotiations are happening right now.
Exactly. And Rassie has explicitly said he wants to avoid what he calls a mistake of the past. He flat out refuses to negotiate contracts during a World Cup year.
Because of what happened in 2007, right?
Yeah, he was part of the planning staff in 2007, and he saw how much anxiety it caused. When your contract is up in the air, the coaches are constantly worrying, if we don't win, am I going to have a job? How do I pay my bills?
Oh, man, that sounds exhausting. It's just a massive cognitive overload. Like you're supposed to be analyzing complex defense alignments, but 20% of your brain is just terrified about your mortgage.
You nailed it. You literally can't be at your creative best when you're dealing with existential dread. If you're stressed about your career, you're not giving 100% to the players.
And Rassie proved that removing that anxiety works. I mean, look at the 2023 World Cup in France. It was public knowledge beforehand that head coach Jacques Nienaber was leaving for Leinster and Felix Jones was going to England.
And everyone in the media said it was going to be this huge distraction.
But they won the whole thing.
Right. By ripping the Band-Aid off early, nobody was whispering in the hallways. The background anxiety was totally gone.
Okay, I have to play devil's advocate here, though, because sure, it helps the coaches, but what about the players? If the players know Tony Brand is out the door, doesn't that create a lame duck situation?
How do you mean?
Well, like, if my boss tells me he's leaving in 6 months, I might just subconsciously tune him out. He's not doing my next performance review, so his authority drops. Won't the Boks players just stop listening to Brown?
That's a super common fear, and it's why most companies hide departures. But you have to deconstruct what a lame duck actually is. That only happens when a leader's authority is based purely on their ability to promote or fire you.
Right, like a purely transactional relationship.
Exactly. But in an elite, high-performance environment like the Springboks, authority comes from the shared goal. The players aren't listening to Tony Brown, so he'll pick them in 2028. They're listening because his tactics are their best shot at winning a trophy in 2027.
Ah, wow. Okay, so the mission completely supersedes the timeline.
100%. In elite sports, uncertainty is way more toxic than a confirmed departure. Rassie knows that radical clarity lets everyone just go full steam ahead. There's no paranoia, no secret Zoom interviews to worry about.
Which is just an incredible lesson in change management, because
Yeah.
by handling it this way, SA Rugby has just bought themselves the most valuable thing ever, which is time.
Absolutely. Time to recruit.
Yeah, they have years to find a replacement. Planet Rugby even reported they might look at another ex-All Black, which is super interesting. But really, it's just the ultimate amicable breakup. You're breaking up, but you still have to live together and win a World Cup for 2 more years.
It takes so much emotional maturity. But think about standard corporate environments. Usually a key person gives a 2-week notice and management just panics.
Oh, total scramble. Losing passwords, losing client knowledge, just chaos.
But South Africa avoids the crisis phase completely. They over-communicate the plan. It breeds focus instead of gossip.
So it's basically a system where honesty is rewarded. Tony Brown knew he wouldn't be treated like a traitor, so he felt safe telling them 3 years in advance.
Which is exactly what gives them the runway to replace him. It's this beautiful cycle of trust that Rassie and Rian Oberholzer have built. They know their ecosystem is strong enough to survive losing a genius like Brown.
So really, the main takeaway from all these reports is that the Springboks' success isn't just about their playbook. It's built on a boardroom culture of upfront honesty and treating people like adults.
Yeah, they win on the field because they refuse to play stupid political games in the office.
That is such a great way to put it. It really makes you rethink how you handle transitions in your own life and your own career. And honestly, we'd love to know what you think about this strategy. So jump into the comments and let us know your thoughts on how Rassie is playing this.
Yeah, I'd love to read those comments.
And it leaves us with one final, really provocative thought to mull over. If an organization actively normalizes and celebrates people leaving for their absolute dream jobs with total transparency, does that actually make them more attractive to the next wave of elite talent? Like, does letting people leave gracefully actually become your best recruiting tool?
I mean, if you're a top-tier coach, you want to work for the team that supports your growth, not the one that marches you out with security the second you show ambition.
Exactly. It's all about playing the long game. Well, that wraps up our analysis for today. Remember, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. So thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.